You are now listening to the J Ade podcast.
We're getting ready to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the J Ade podcast. It's your boy J Ade in the building. We are back for season 3, episode 4 of the show. As I always do, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to follow your boy on Instagram at Joe the Great. That's JOETHEGR number 8, as well as my podcast page at j.ade.pod. And as I always have, ladies and gentlemen, today in the building, we have one lady and we have one gentleman. So before we introduce today's topic, we're going to have the lady introduce herself first, then we're going to have the gentleman do so subsequently. So this is a lady that we have heard from on numerous occasions, ladies and gentlemen. We're finally putting a face to a name. So, lady, welcome back. What's your name? Where are you from?
So it's KR Dot.
Okay.
From the DMV.
Yes, sir.
Happy to be here.
Okay.
Happy for y'all to see me.
Okay.
Finally.
Okay. Yeah, man. Kara Dot's been showing a lot of love to the show, man. Y'all have loved her
the
takes.
show. Love the
and,
show.
you know, we brought her back again for some more controversial takes upon your head top. We have a gentleman that we had on the show as well, who's actually on season 2, episode 1, Gold Diggers, gave a couple of insightful opinions on various things. And we brought him back once again, man. What's your name? Where you from, big dog? Welcome back.
Thank you. My name is Obi Bryant.
Okay.
From Nigeria.
Okay.
Born in Nashville.
I still can't
You
get
never
over to
believe me
Nashville.
when I say
Nashville,
that.
right? You sound like
what?
I was born in Nashville, yeah.
I'm
man.
trying to understand, like, what? Like,
Yeah, man. I don't know.
at what point did you move to Maryland?
When I was like 6.
Okay.
So I was born in Nashville, moved to Arkansas when I was like 4 years old.
What?
wow.
Lived
Okay.
in Arkansas, and then moved to downtown Silver Spring. when I
Okay.
was 6.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm glad to be back, man. Thank you.
All right, y'all got any social media shout out before we start, man? I already shouted out mine.
Obi
Shout
Bryant.
out mine.
Yeah. OBIBRYANT.
Okay, so like Kobe Bryant, but just Obi.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Obi Bryant.
Yeah.
Okay, and you already started yours out, right? KR Dot.
KR Dot.
That's KRDOT. Not just a period thing, you know what I'm
No
saying?
period.
So now that we had the lady and the gentleman introduce themselves, we're going to go into today's topic. And today's topic is going to be, in today's day and age, social media has played a large role in the lives of millennials. Specifically, social media has shaped the way a lot of people within our generation perceive things and receive information in reference to success, relationships, or just generally keeping up with current events. That being said, a lot of what we see ain't really what it is. So we will be discussing that today and truly unpacking the impact on social media and its effect on us. So we had the lady introduce herself first. We're going to have the gentleman come in and state his opinions first. And the first question that I have for them today is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of an impact do you believe social media has on the way that you perceive the world? And explain why.
On the way that I perceive the world.
Correct.
I mean, I would love to sit here and say that, you know, it doesn't impact it that much, but
That'll be a lie.
it does. That'll be a lie. Like,
Yeah,
for
correct.
everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Because
Yeah.
Not for everybody, but for you specifically.
well, I mean, for everybody.
just as a
just
millennial,
speaking-
yeah.
Just speaking for me
Okay.
specifically,
Yep.
if you have social media, you live, unless you consciously try to get out of it, you
Right.
live in the echo chamber
Okay.
because you follow most of the people you follow, kind of like the same things and have the same opinions and shit like that. So if you follow the same type of people, it's going to shape your perception a certain type of way. So
Okay.
I would like to say no, but it does, no matter
Okay.
what.
Okay.
Okay.
And what do you think? So on a scale of 1 to, actually, I didn't get your 1 to 10 rating. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of an impact would you say it has on the way you perceive the world?
I would say probably 8.
8?
Yeah, 8.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And what would you say, young lady? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think social media has in terms of its impact on how you perceive the world?
So I think to kind of piggyback off of what he said, because my social media is reflective of the people that I surround myself with.
Right.
I try to keep that in perspective of the world and kind of have an idea like, okay, just because this is what you're seeing on your social media doesn't necessarily mean that that reflects the world itself.
Right.
So my social media specifically and what I see, I don't think that it impacts my view on the world, but in terms of my circle, and my immediate like society, if you will, like I would definitely say it has a major impact. So I would say like an
Right.
8 or a 9.
8 or 9? Okay.
That's probably more what I meant to say
Yeah.
for how she said it for her.
So in terms of your actual, your direct circle and how you interact with them.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay. So, and to that point, right? So I think it's interesting to kind of note exactly the impact that social media has on how you perceive the world. But I think I kind of wanted to break it down a little bit too in terms of the types of people that we see on social media. And I feel like there are 3 types of social media users, right? So there's those who do it for the interactions. So they do it for the likes, the retweets, and the shares. Those who legitimately are on it to be entertained. And then those the educators of the world, right? The people that feel the need to go on social media to teach people
The
things.
educators.
Right. No, I mean, yeah. And it is really quote unquote, because I feel like a lot of people come from a place of lack of knowledge, but in order to sound smarter and feel smarter, they feel the need to, be woke and try to teach people things about, life, right? So I want to know, which do you guys fit into and why? Or would you guys say you fit into something outside of those three that I stated?
I don't think I fit into really any of those.
Okay, let's discuss. Which one you fit into, man?
Honestly, I really just get on mostly Twitter. Like, honestly,
Right.
I'll have a thought and I'll just go tweet it. I don't really tweet it for like retweets. I don't tweet it to educate nobody.
Okay.
I don't really tweet it for, what was the other one you said?
So the people that do it for educating, the people that tweet just to get likes and retweets,
likes.
or the people that legitimately want to be entertained by what they see on the timeline?
Okay, a little bit of that one.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's just an outlet for me, honestly. I'll literally just have a thought and I'll just tweet it. Like, just tweet that shit.
So for you, it's not about entertainment, it's not about information?
It's a little bit about entertainment. I don't look to Twitter for information, because a lot of that shit is false.
And we're going to discuss that later on too, about how the falseness, or
right.
I feel like sometimes social media gets a bad rap in terms of its information.
Sometimes yes. Sometimes yes.
See, this is hard. This is a hard question, because I feel like if you know me in real life, then you know that my social media is like a direct reflection of who I am in real life.
Which I feel like a lot of people think about themselves, but I think to a certain degree people do act a little bit more different from real life.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm bougie as hell in real life.
Okay.
And my Instagram is real bougie.
Okay.
I feel like
That's
I can be funny, but like I'm funny in real life.
Right.
So I feel like my social media is just like a direct reflection of me, and in real life, like I like to entertain. Like,
okay.
I mean, I'm sure like we all want to be accepted and we want to be liked to a certain degree. So I feel like everybody's social media, there's like an underlying tone of like one
kind of upping it, gassing up a little bit, right?
Like I'm definitely the one that's going to take like 45 pictures before I post one.
Right.
But like, who doesn't want to be seen in their best light? Like,
okay.
I'm definitely not an educator though, because I hate social media for that purpose. And I feel like anytime you try to speak on something, there's always someone that's going to like try to combat you.
Right.
So I hate arguing over social media, so I'm not going to do that. So I guess I would be like a combination of the like doing it for the likes versus and doing it for entertainment. But it's not like I actively sit there and I'm like, all right, so like, is this gonna be funny? And then I post it. Like, no, I think it's funny. And if you don't think it's funny, well then
whatever.
Then whatever. But I thought that shit was hilarious.
Okay, so to piggyback off that point, right? So you said you're not an educator, but you feel like you fit into those other two groups, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of want to get an understanding from you. Why do you think somebody would want to fit into this educator box on social media? Like, what do you think motivates people to be that kind of person or that guy on social media?
Because people just like acting like they know.
But like, why do you think that is though? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's just
what
like,
do they have to gain from
I
that?
think so. One of the beautiful things about social media is that it highlights flaws within us as a society.
Okay.
So these are things that we've already have already been there.
Okay.
It's just social media now puts a spotlight on it. So there's always been people who just love to pretend like they know when they don't know. Like there's that famous quote where they're like the smartest man knows what he does not know.
Right.
Because a lot of people just like to perp like they know. And social media just gives those people an outlet. And then you always are going to have those people who are even worse, like the blind leading the blind, who look to these faux educators for knowledge. And as long as you say things in a way that makes it look like you know what you're talking about, people are going to follow you. And that's crazy to me. But there's like a business for it. It's like supply and demand. People are always looking for other people to tell them what to do.
It's facts.
So,
and I feel like the social media aspect just feeds directly into like the sheep mentality that a lot of people in our generation have.
And if you really sit down and read some of this stuff, like I was reading this guy, one of the guys that I follow on Instagram, he's one of those people that will like tweet and screenshot his own tweets and post it on his Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
So he always will tweet. And then, so he posts this on his Instagram and I'm reading. I'm like, this makes no sense. But like, people get caught up in all the words, and if it's a long tweet, like they just caught up in seeing all the words.
Right.
Maybe you use your word of the day for the month in the tweet, so now it looks fancy. And now people are listening to you, and I'm like, but if you really sit and break this down, like, it don't make no sense. But social media also falls into that realm of like, we're like a fast-paced society.
Right.
But sometimes it's tough though, because I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
It's tough sometimes because sometimes somebody will like, and I've fallen victim to, so I can't even talk. But
Let's discuss.
Sometimes somebody will tweet something, like just regularly just tweet it, and they'll tweet it as a fact, and you'll just take it and read it, and you'll think it's fact, and come back to it like 2 days later, and then you'll find out like
that it was not true.
It was nowhere near true.
Yeah.
And I have fallen victim to that before, so I can't really talk, but a lot of that goes on. So you can't even tell what's true and what's not sometimes.
But that's the thing, you can.
I mean,
because it's like, just like you went on Twitter,
exactly, yeah,
you can
right.
open up that next tab and put it into Google.
Exactly. That's what.
Which a lot of people won't think to do. And that was the point I was going to bring up too. I feel like people allow likes and shares to dictate the validity of what they see, right? If you're on Twitter and you see a tweet with 20,000 retweets, it's like, damn, like, this nigga must be, this nigga spitting.
But that's fair. But that's fair though.
How's that fair though? For example, the whole coronavirus outbreak, right? So a lot of people have been, creating their own think pieces and their own threads on it and posting all this data and stuff like that. Right. Or, I know a doctor that knows this, that knows that. And those threads are getting tens of thousands of retweets. Right. But at the end of the day, people are starting to realize that what they're saying is not necessarily factual information.
That's a fact. And I ain't saying the information is factual. I'm just saying if you see a tweet with 10,000 retweets versus a tweet with 23 retweets, you're going to say, okay, that might be true. You know what I'm saying? The tweet with 10,000. But then it's your responsibility to go, like you said, put it in Google and do the research.
And the research is so simple. That's why it's so crazy. Like, there are credible sources that are updated on a regular basis that can like debunk half of the tweets that people be so gung-ho over. And it's just like, I don't understand. Like, why are you caught up in the hype? But
so that's another question, right? So why do you think people don't go out of their way to actually gain this knowledge?
Because it's easier to just look on Twitter and just say, hey, this was given to me. I'm going to take it like that. That's just how we are as humans. But you have to make a conscious effort to say, okay, I know it's easy to just take this information, but I have to make a conscious effort to go on Google and research. But to your question, though, people, it's easier to just take the information.
Like, I know a good amount of people that their political views are based on threads from Twitter, or
the shade room. Yeah,
no, like legitimately.
No, I know a girl who literally said that out of her mouth. She gets her current events from the shade room.
Jesus.
That's what she said.
Although I will say though that a lot of people try to hate on people for getting their current events from Instagram or Twitter, but I feel like sometimes there is a level of validity to it.
Sometimes, but again, there's credible sources. There's credible sources everywhere. There's credible sources on Twitter. There's credible sources on Instagram. Right. So if you're getting your information from these credible sources, that's one thing. But like your homegirl that retweeted or reposted this in her story, she's not a credible source. Like,
okay, so do you take people less seriously that look to social media for news over the actual news outlets themselves?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's like a game of telephone. Like,
no, man.
No, we'll hear your point after.
It's like a game of telephone. Like, why would I listen to like the third party or the fourth party or the fifth party when I could just go where you got your information from too? Because people also negate this idea of like, it's like the game of telephone. People's perception dictates how they receive information. Right. So you and I could watch the same news story. If I were to watch the first 30 seconds and you watch the last 30 seconds, we're not going to have the same opinion. Right. Or if I watch the story living in DC and you watch the story living in West Virginia, it's going to be a different situation. We're going to interpret it differently. Right. So instead of going through these like third party channels, like why not just go directly to the source? They got it from somewhere, so why not just go where they got it from?
Okay. And I want to hear your point about that because you disagree.
I don't necessarily disagree. Okay. But what I'm saying is that sometimes it's very tough to find the actual source. Y'all remember when Travis Scott got caught cheating on the balcony? Right. Actual like news outlets picked that up without even knowing if it was true or not. Right. So sometimes when you try to go to actual like
sometimes they're coming to social media for the fact.
They are going to actual like tweets that somebody just made up.
But see, I feel like that's also where you differentiate. Like we talking about politics, we talking about disease prevention, we talking about like the government, like we're talking about real things versus like pop culture. Okay. And I think people try to lump all of it in together because social media is just a big watering hole for everything. Right. But it's important to differentiate what it is you're actually looking for. If I'm looking for what happened with Travis Scott or what happened with a Kardashian, okay, I'm gonna go to Instagram because I can go to their Instagram story and I can get it. I can see for myself. Right. But if I'm looking towards the government or something that's going on in society, something political, I'm not going to Black Twitter. I'm not, because it's all jokes.
I mean, but Black Twitter, okay, for example, I guess you made the point about pop culture, for example, right? But I feel like Black Twitter does drive a good amount of the information that you receive. But it's
so hard to decipher because Black Twitter is entertainment.
Such as when,
So it's hard to decipher between what's being said to entertain and what's factual.
And then people have narratives that they like to push. Okay. So if something fits their narrative...
Let me get some examples of the narratives that people like to push.
I don't even know. That's a tough one. I can't really
Narratives in terms of like pop culture things, or like narratives in terms of just
just like anything, like say like if somebody is like a Cardi B fan and there's some information about Cardi B,
right?
Depending on if it's good or it's bad, they might push it further than what it really is.
And that plays into that whole stan culture too, bro. I feel like that whole group of people is interesting too. So you're saying Cardi B fan, but I feel like that's kind of something I want to talk about too. Like the whole extremism that is associated with celebrities, right?
That's
on social
so
media.
weird.
So like the people that are obsessed with Nicki Minaj, what do they call them? The
Barbs.
And then the people that are obsessed with Beyonce. I kind of want to understand like okay, even if you guys don't agree with that, I want you guys to kind of play devil's advocate, right? Because I'm really trying to understand like how is that a thing? Like we were just talking about this outside, like how like people refer to these artists by their first name now as if they know them. So I want to understand like what's the logic on that? Like how does that make sense?
You can't ask me. I don't know what the logic is.
Like
I have
It's
no
because social media gives you an insight to these people's lives in like quote unquote real time.
Okay.
So like with Instagram, with the creation of a story.
Right.
You now can like click and see what they're doing in their house.
Right. Yeah.
You can see what they're doing behind the scenes of the
Right.
show that you're watching. You can see what they're doing behind the scenes of that concert that you just watched. Like,
Right.
so you can see that. So it makes you feel like you know someone. And even on like a lower level, it's the same way how you don't even have to be a celebrity. People can look at your social media and think that now because they've watched your story and they followed you on Twitter and they follow your Instagram,
They know your life.
now they know your life.
Okay.
Because to a certain degree, that's what it is. It's you posting your life.
Okay.
It's the same way people believe in like these reality TV shows,
Right.
even though they're very much scripted,
Right.
but it's real. It's reality and I'm watching it. So I'm inclined to believe that it's true. I'm inclined to believe that I know you because now I've seen certain aspects of you.
But that's all cool and dandy. Like that, all that is cool. And I actually understand, like if somebody loves an artist and they follow them and they watch everything they do,
right.
you might be more inclined to feel like you know them versus like 2002 when you had no access to nobody.
Right.
But you can still call her Young Miami and not Carisha.
Oh, no, that's Carisha.
You don't gotta call her Carisha. You don't have to.
And what I don't understand about
why
it,
do you
right?
have to? Why
Because
that's
her name.
But I mean, that's not what she's known by in terms of like her celebrity status. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
Carisha.
I feel like people are trying to
man.
like enter into that new barrier and say like, yo, this is my homegirl. I'm gonna address her as such.
I love her, by the way.
Which I think is so interesting
Because
too,
they remind, like, I love Carisha because she reminds me
I'm
of my
actually
friends.
in love with her. I love that woman.
Word?
I love
Really?
her to death.
Why?
That's so shocking.
I just love her. She's just,
But like, why though? Like,
she's just so like ghetto and just so like.
wow.
She is. Ain't she ghetto?
No, hey, I'm listening.
No,
man.
what do you think?
Because
You not I watch this thing. He be trying to get off the hook, and y'all be letting him. What do you think?
I'm just moderate. Hey,
I love
Carisha,
her.
I'm indifferent. I like the music. You know, I like her. You know, her.
I
spunk
love
and her sense
Carisha.
of-
I just wanted to say that. That's all.
No, I mean, you know, maybe she'll watch it one day. Be like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, period. You know what I'm saying? Come to Maryland and, you know, say what's good.
Hopefully.
to you.
I'll
You feel
be
me?
here.
No, okay, but I think it's an interesting point that you made, though, Kirsten, about how people post consistently and you kind of get a sense of what they're doing in real time, right? And you
Yeah,
feel a sense of
like,
connection to that.
like I remember, so I have a friend who basically like just like through all of like what I do or whatever, we check in. Like maybe once a month we'll like go to lunch, we'll go to whatever, and he'll like
Right.
check in and just be like, yo, are you good? How's
Right.
things going or whatever. And so maybe like this specific month I was telling him how I was getting so frustrated because I post on social media, like, but I only post the best parts of my
Right.
life. Like,
Right.
I'm not about to post myself crying.
Right.
I'm not about to post my losses. Like, I post the best parts of my life. I put my best foot forward on my social media. And so, but
we're going to talk about that, too, because I think that's interesting.
but I also I don't know, maybe it's because of like the culture in DC,
Right.
where like the first thing people do when they meet you is ask you what you do.
Right.
So if you are just following me on social media, you won't be able to attach what it is that I do to my social media unless you know me.
Right.
So because I portray a certain lifestyle on social media, but they don't know what I do to obtain that lifestyle.
Right.
Now it's like all these types of stories and all these types of rumors, they circulate about like who I am as a person. And I was like basically expressing that to him, how it was so frustrating. And he was like, but that's what you asked for. That's literally what you asked for. You asked for people to know you because you post all of this stuff about you. Like you could go and do everything that you're doing and not post it.
That's a fact.
And then nobody will feel like they know you. They won't feel like they have a real like a place to comment on what it is you're doing. They won't feel entitled to any of that. But it's like you give that to people.
Okay.
I don't-
Okay, make your point.
I don't know if that's fair though. I don't know if that's fair to say because somebody's using their social media the way it's supposed to be used, that they're asking for rumors to be. So, and I get his point. I understand.
Yes, sir. Continue.
But I don't know if that's fair to say all the way.
Okay, and I think something that's interesting about that, right? The idea of posting something, kind of having a persona on social media or posting a certain amount. One thing I want to kind of transition over to is the fact that there are certain people that believe that using social media less makes them somewhat better than others, right? Or posting less personal posts makes them seem a little bit less accessible and better than those who decide to share more about themselves. So I kind of wanted to get from you guys, what do you think sparked that? And you guys think that's a legitimate point of view, right? So like, is it, so let's say for like me, for example, I'm gonna post something probably at least one thing a day off the strength. But there's people out there that are like, oh man, I only post 3 stories a day. So clearly I have a life and you don't. So I kind of want to get an understanding from you guys of like, what do you think sparked that? Like, why do people feel the need to like show others like, yo, you using social media a lot and I don't. So I'm on a higher level than you. Why do you think that is? Either y'all can answer for real.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
I feel like it's just because people just like to do the opposite of what they think is like the norm.
So you think it's like a matter of like being deviant in general?
Yeah, it's just a matter of like trying to be different. Like, because like if I live my life on social media, if I live my life not on social media, guess what? I'm still living my life.
Okay.
And I feel like you're corny for trying to tell me that I'm living less of my life just because I don't post it.
Right.
Like, you worry about your life that you're not posting. Like,
Right.
people that say things like that, it's like you're really putting yourself out there because it's like nobody even asked you. And if you're so cool and you live such a life, why are you here paying attention to the fact that my life is on social
That's
media?
what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like, and that's why I don't have an answer because I don't even pay attention to that. Like I literally, I wasn't on Twitter for a whole, I don't even know, like probably a whole 8 months because I was.
And that's significant, man. This man used to be a Twitter warrior, man.
But I'm back on it now.
And that's crazy because I'm not on Twitter at all.
I don't be on Instagram at all.
I get on Twitter, I read my own tweet.
But it's not because
I'm like, I can't tweet.
It's not because I want to seem like I have more of a life than you because you post 45 stories a day. You do that because you want to,
right?
And I don't do it because I want to. Like,
okay,
everybody should do what they want to do and not do it because you want to seem like you have more of a life than somebody.
But I just feel like it goes back to that whole thing, like doing things with purpose. So like, if I'm doing something that I think is fun or I think is cool, like sometimes I'll genuinely be at such a level of enjoyment that I won't post because I'm just like so engaged. But sometimes I'm having a great time and I want to flex. I want y'all to see.
Right.
So.
And I think that's fair.
Yeah. Like sure. I feel like the only time that I think is whack is people that post things that like lame stuff like
what do you consider to be lame though?
Like if you made a peanut butter and jelly in your kitchen on a paper plate, like I don't need to see that.
But I feel like, and I feel like that's where like we kind of get into like a gray area because it's like, how can she say that that's lame to post? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if that's the thing that person decides?
I mean, you can do it,
right?
But I just hate, and people kind of stopped doing it. But you know when that whole like weed era was going on,
right?
Everyone can get weed.
Right.
We can all get weed right now. You don't have to post your weed every
day.
Wake and bake. Wake and bake.
Come on now. Like, tweeting, I'm smacked. We can all
like,
get
okay.
Like,
but I feel like to a certain degree, though, I feel like based on social media, like perception is reality, right? So I had a body positivity episode a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about how the fact that like, if you're not posting that you're working out on social media, people don't think you fit. Or as Chris was saying, if you're not posting about the party on social media, then that you're probably not lit. Yeah. But then other people will say, if you're posting a party too much, that means you're trying to show people that the party is lit, even if it's not lit. So I think it's so interesting. It's like almost like, where do you draw the line in terms of like what you can and can't post?
You shouldn't draw the line.
Yeah, post what you want.
Yeah.
I post what I want. Like, yeah, I post what I want. I post what I like. I buy what I like. I do what I like. Like, that's just, like, I'm doing me.
But I feel like that's what people say, right? So that I buy what I like, I do what I like. But what would you say influences? What did you say? So the things that you wear, right? The things that you wear, the way you wear your hair, the way you do your makeup and stuff like that. Would you say that that's affected by social media? So as much as you say you do what you like, the first question that I presented to you was, how much of an effect does social media have on the way you perceive the world?
So like the best way I can answer that, me and my friend were having a conversation about how we have like this younger generation, like our younger siblings and younger cousins, who are now asking for items that we didn't even know existed because they now have social media, so they now have access to things that we didn't have access to.
Right.
It's like even like the concept of wearing like designer shoes and like labels and stuff like that.
Right.
I didn't know about that until I went to college and saw like rich people with it, and then I was like, oh, what's that? That's kind of cool. What's that? That's kind of cool. And then I started to pick up on it, whereas now they know all about it because they're following Carisha, they're following Beyonce, they're following Kanye or whoever, and they're seeing all this stuff,
right?
And they're like, now they want to know about it. So I guess to a certain degree, like social media definitely influences, but it all boils down to what you like and like not doing something because of social media. Like there's things that are genuinely stupid. Like those big, bulky, ugly Balenciaga sneakers.
Niggas love them joints.
They love them. And if I promise you, it's
You fuck with them joints?
I kind of like.
no. That don't look like
Ugly,
a
bro. Sorry,
Skechers
bro.
that someone ate up and threw back up on your feet.
Nah, like
Some of
legit,
them-
They're
if them joints had the
hideous.
S of Skechers on them, I
You would
guarantee
not buy them.
nobody rock them.
Some of them for sure.
I'm talking about
Nah.
the bulky trainer grandpa looking shoes.
I like some.
They're
of those.
dad shoes. They're
like some of
dad
those
shoes. But because they have this like label on them and because you like see people with them, now they're fly.
Okay, so what do you think social media's impact is on, in terms of, I guess, what you like, right? So, like, in terms of your sense of style, in terms of what you think is trendy or what you think is fly, right? Would you say that that has a significant impact? I know that was, kind of going back to the original question, but I kind of wanted to hear your take.
I mean, impact as far as like exposure to some things that I might not have seen if I didn't have social media.
Right.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as far as like
Decision making.
what I like and what I wear, fuck no, hell no.
real?
I will never ever. There's nothing anybody can ever tell me, hey, this is cool or dope, and I'll go wear it. Never in my life.
But I feel like we're different because I work in the club.
Right.
So I see that dumbass shit all the time.
Right.
And I be looking like, y'all look dumb. And I know you
I mean, but it's drip and clout
it's drip.
and sauce.
But that's the thing, though. You'll never ever fully be able to tell if somebody's wearing something because they like it or if they're wearing something because they saw somebody else. Like you'll just never know.
And I feel
That's
like,
a fact.
low
Like-
key, the fact, like, I feel like there are people out there who literally devote their lives to like trying to like point out these different groups of people. Like, oh yeah, you was rocking that because you
And
saw me rocking
they're
that on the gram.
the corniest. They're the
But like,
worst.
why do you think that is though? Like, why? Especially, and sometimes it really be the niggas that own that designer that be like, yo, you saw me rocking those on the gram, and then you went to go cop it. So like,
It's
why
the
do you
same
think
thing
that?
how niggas always be like, oh, you my son. Like,
Right.
Niggas just always like to think they were first. I'm sorry, nobody, like, you're not first. Nobody's first.
Yeah.
But like they just love like acting like they was first.
I don't know anybody like that, and I hope I never meet anybody like that ever in life.
Okay, so and to piggyback off that, why do you think people are so pressed to like, I guess, shape how people perceive them, right? Like, would you say that that's rooted in like a inner like lack of confidence, or would you guys say that that's like just the way they're built?
I mean, if they dead serious, because me and my friends, we do it all the time. Like,
Right.
I put you onto this song, or you know,
I mean, yeah, okay.
we play around. You know, my friends, like we
Right,
play
right,
around like
right,
that.
right.
But if you dead serious, like you scanning the room for who got something from you, you are a clown, and you should leave this earth. Not the earth. Wow. I won't say the earth. That's
You
that's
said
wrong.
earth.
That's wrong. I shouldn't say that. But you should leave from around me at least. Like go somewhere
around
else, please.
me.
That's crazy. Like why are you trying to find out who got the swag from
First,
you?
yeah.
Come on, man. Cut it out.
Okay,
That's
what do
too
you
much
think? What do you think about that? So, like, in terms of how people are pressed to control the way people perceive them, do you think that's like from an underlying lack of confidence and like a way to like push the "I'm better than you" narrative?
So for some people it is.
Okay.
But like I feel like if you're very self-aware, you can like point those people out immediately. Like they
Okay.
stand out like a sore thumb.
Okay.
I think that now we live in a society where like you being authentic
Mm-hmm.
and being someone that's different and someone that people look up to, it can make you money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Your
That's a
social
good point.
media can make you money.
That's a great point, actually.
So you differentiating yourself and you having what's newest and flyest
Yeah.
and different, like you can get bread off of that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think now it's like a quest to be like someone special on social media just off the strength that social media is now a business.
That's a fact.
Okay.
And that goes back to your whole sheep conversation because like with influencers,
Right.
like I was just having this conversation.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on influencers?
Influencers only exist because they're sheep.
Oh, let's
You
talk
can't
about it.
you can't like
Let's
influencers
talk about
can't
it.
exist.
Influencer is the sheep.
No. The influencer
Oh, because of the
only
sheep.
exists because they're
Because
sheep.
there are sheep.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
so many sheep out
Waiting
there.
to be influenced.
Influencers can't exist without people who just look to somebody for anything.
And
I'm talking about-
influencers are just looking.
I hate that
for
term, by the
people.
way. I hate that term,
But
influencer.
But the
like-
thing is, like,
Me too.
they're not like so. Like, once you get a certain amount of likes, because you see it, like they'll comment under your picture all the time or DM
Right,
you, like,
right.
"Oh, I see. I love your page. Do this. Oh, I love your
I want you
page.
to be an
Post
ambassador.
this. I love your
Yeah.
page. Yeah. So influencers aren't even genuine in themselves. That's why, like, I don't like on my social media. I don't follow any celebrities.
Okay.
I don't follow any influencers. Like, if I don't know you, I don't follow you.
Okay.
Because, like, you're not even authentic in yourself.
Right.
Right.
Even celebrities don't run their own pages all the time.
I mean, some do, but yeah, you're right.
But most of them don't. Like,
Right,
if,
right.
like Beyonce's not
Beyonce,
posting.
yeah, I'm sure Beyonce don't want her page.
Beyonce
bro.
don't post. She don't
so,
like her page.
so it's just like there's no point. It's people take social media so serious, but like I guess to a certain degree you kind of have to because you could make bread off of it.
Okay, and it kind of piggybacking off that authentic self point, right? We're talking about that more so in terms of, I guess, how you present yourself, right? But I kind of wanted to transition that authenticity point into specifically people's opinions that they decide to post on social media, right? Mm-hmm. And specifically, I feel as though people are legitimately afraid to post what they truly think because they are afraid of some of the backlash that they may receive. Mm-hmm. And I kind of wanted to know from you guys why you think that is, right? So why are people holding back on their authentic opinions on certain things, especially now that social media is a lot more sensitive? Because back when Twitter first started, man, anything was going. Anybody could say
Twitter
anything
beefs
about anything.
Twitter beefs used to be
Twitter
lit.
beefs. People were saying everything about anyone, calling anyone any name in the book, and now people that still have that same belief system are hesitant to post those things that they truly believe in because they are afraid of the backlash they receive. And I kind of want to know why you guys think that is.
Well, it's two different things.
Okay.
First of all, it's most importantly, it's because people now they have jobs and shit like that.
Right. You have things. You have shit to lose.
You have that, which I understand.
Right.
But another reason is because people literally just go by the tide. Like, whatever most people think is right or wrong is what they're gonna post. Like, I was just having this conversation probably a couple months ago or whatever. I see a lot of people now, and we about to get into it. A lot of people now who back in the day, I remember people making back in the day, it was a thing to make jokes about black girls, black women. It was a thing. Like niggas did it like all the time. All the time.
Listen, and I tried to say that, and nobody listened to me.
I don't know, but why?
I want to hear your take on it after he makes it.
But why are niggas acting clueless? That was a thing. That was a thing. But my point is,
can we get some examples? Let me get one example, bro.
Oh my god!
An example of a joke that somebody made against black girls.
Damn, son, I don't even really remember, but it's just treacherous jokes.
Treacherous,
like really crazy jokes. But
about black girls being loud, about black girls
just
being, like it was always a thing. Like
I wish I could remember some jokes niggas made. And honestly, some of them were kind of funny if you just making jokes. If you just making jokes, I can see how it's funny. I'm just saying, some of the same niggas now try to
super simpy ass niggas
now
try to act like
now they want to say, I'll never date a white woman. Yes, you would. You said back in the day you would. So now you wouldn't? That's what I'm saying. Like, people just go with what the tide is.
I mean, I feel like people could change, though. You know what I'm saying? There's people out there that...
No, you're right.
No, I'm saying,
they can.
to a certain degree, it's like,
They can, but I don't believe you. No. Like, if you change with the tide, I don't believe you. Right. You might be being genuine, but I'll never know, and I can't.
That's what social media, that's where it gets you in trouble. Because it's like, how do you know that that's not a genuine change within
I don't
himself?
know, and I don't want to know. I don't believe you.
Right, because, people... And the thing is, that's why I hate... It's crazy, though, because I think it might have to go back to the fact that maybe we are... Like, our generation is getting older. So I would hope that the reason people aren't just forward with their dumbass opinions is because
they're more sensitive.
They're more mature.
Right.
But I don't know. Like, I just feel like, I don't know. Twitter back in the day used to be like
reckless.
Way more.
It was a war zone, honestly.
Yeah.
Way more crucial.
Like, I'm not a believer in deleting tweets. Mm-hmm. But I ain't gonna lie, man. I had to go back and delete some of my shit. That shit was
definitely,
wild,
especially with cancel culture, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, and that's something I want to talk about too, and I think that's interesting. Cancel culture, right? Yeah. So we're talking about how people, post a lot of things on social media previously, and you're saying that a lot of people are changing their opinions on it, and deleting tweets as you said you've done. Mm-hmm. And do you think that that's coming from a legitimate place? Cancel culture, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think it's an authentic movement, an authentic concept in the realm of social media?
No.
No? Why not?
I think, again, it's people just they like to hear themselves talk. They like to have an opinion.
To sound smart, right?
Yeah, because there's this guy, and it's at the point now for me where once I feel like you're not genuine on social media, I just block you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I block you, and it's no beef. Like, we could be best friends, and you probably will never know that you're either blocked or muted on my social media.
Oh yeah, I have a couple of homegirls, mainly homegirls that muted my ass on social media.
I just cannot.
They've told me, and I respect it.
Because sometimes you just can't. Like, there's this one guy that I used to follow on Instagram, and this was when Instagram stories first started popping.
Okay.
So one day he would be in the club with his Cartier glasses on, like, I get money, da 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 da. Next day, now he decided to go to church. So now it's money's not everything. It's about empowering the youth. Then the next day, he's shitting on the next nigga because he think he got more money than him. All while in real life, this man is living down street from Mondawmin in his mom's basement, just wilding. scamming, all types of shit.
It's all about perception ultimately, right?
Unless people know you.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And I think that's so interesting too. And I kind of wanted to talk about that too, like this idea of this new trend of people branding themselves on social media. Like, is that weird that you feel the need to brand yourself to fellow friends as if they don't already know who you are? Like how does that make you feel, knowing that like certain people that you might have grown up with or you know in real life are presenting this completely different persona of themselves on social media?
That is really weird, but I just want to touch on cancel culture real quick.
That's weird, but back to this.
Just real quick.
Okay,
something I just want to get off my chest.
Okay.
A lot of these, like the top topics that we have on social media,
right.
like black issues, women issues, gay issues,
right.
Sexual assault. All of that is very, very serious, and some people really, really, really do care. Some people cared before social media even existed.
Right.
But there are some people who tweet like they care and don't care at all. You know why? Because it's attention in the form of retweets and likes.
Yeah.
Before social media, there was attention in, I don't know, just like verbal validation or whatever.
Right.
But now attention will always be a currency.
People want to seem like they get it. You know what I'm saying?
All the time.
Yeah.
So if you can get some retweets from saying that you care about sexual assault when you really don't. Some people really don't.
I feel like that's
really
so
don't.
interesting though.
Because
Like
people
will write legitimate.
That
Yeah, that's
That's
that
what's
could be
crazy.
true, yeah.
Like a lot of men. So there's this. Have y'all ever seen the Carmichael show?
No.
So
I think I've heard of it before.
So the comedian Gerard Carmichael, he had a show, and there's this one episode where they was talking about like what it means to be a sexual assaultant,
right?
And how like a lot of things that men do that they don't realize that they're doing is very predatory. So it's like a lot of times I'll be on social media and I'll see guys preaching when like in real life you was calling that chick a bitch the other day, and in real life you put this girl out your car, and in real life you was talking down to this girl over here, but like on social media you want to front. That's why like I don't believe in the cancel culture, any of that. Like even when things happen, like you won't see me post anything relating to the medical education behind this coronavirus. I will never post that.
I think it's so amazing the amount of people that don't have any medical background,
but you will.
Who are taking it upon themselves.
Like, I don't retweet anything. I don't post anything like that. At most, like I'll post like they have been saying like if you're a kid that's not in school, this where you. At most, I'll post that. Like anything, things that happen current event wise, like you will never see me repost it.
Right.
Just because like I have my opinion, you have your opinion, you have your opinion. There's no need for us to flood Instagram with 8,000 pictures of the grocery store with no toilet paper.
Right.
There's no need for us to repost 8,000 stories about the like statistics of the coronavirus.
I got a cousin at the what's it called? The Pentagon.
I got a cousin at the Pentagon. Like, get out of here. Like,
yo, one of my friends sent that, and we've been killing him ever since. Killing him. You a crazy guy. I'm not even gonna say his name, but you know him. And you know who you are.
You might have to drop his name. It's like, nah. Okay, and just to kind of segue from that too, though, we did make that point about this new trend of branding yourself to people that you know.
But see, that's
so I want to know, like, why do you think that is?
That goes back though to like I don't know what he was saying earlier about like people changing,
right?
Because like so I went back to Howard County for Christmas,
right?
And all my friends, like, but I live in DC now, right? So I live here. I'm in this like nightlife culture.
Where you go to school at?
Well, I started at Pitt, finished at College Park.
No, high school.
Howard.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
When'd you graduate?
Damn, we getting all the personal details on.
Right, like 2013.
Okay.
Might know some of the same.
But I went home in what I thought was like a calm fit, just because that's the space that I'm in now. And they was like,
damn,
I see you with the I see you with the
that's how I got it though for you.
So I feel like there's like people that evolve.
Right.
And then there's people that are really just branding themselves.
Okay.
But again, it's hard to know the difference unless you really know the person. Go ahead, I'm sorry. It looks the same.
Yeah, it's true.
It looks the same.
You can use your better judgment and like try to tell for yourself, but you'll never really know.
Okay.
It does look the same. Like it's very.
Some people you'll know.
You'll know. Yeah.
Because if you're in it, you know what it looks like.
Okay.
So if you really like getting money, you know what it looks like.
Right.
And you know what it doesn't look like.
And I think that's an interesting point too, like that success point, right? So I feel like a lot of people now are kind of going out of their way to go on social media to show like, yo, I'm really out here doing it. And I think that's so interesting because I want to kind of ask you guys too. I feel like a lot of people feel as though if you're not really sharing your wins on social media, then you're not really winning like that. So I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on that, right? So there are people out there on social media that are legitimately winning, and they're sharing their wins because they're trying to inspire other people. While there are other people who are trying to portray themselves as people that are winning, but they're not. So I kind of want to get you guys thoughts on like why you think that is, right?
Well,
or like which side is right, which side is wrong.
It's the action.
Okay.
So like,
I mean, the action is the post, but
no, that's the thing. The action is not the post.
let's talk about it then.
There's action. So like, in like things that I do. So now that I've entered this realm of like entrepreneurship,
Right.
If I'm doing something, I try to bring my friends in on it,
Right.
to like make the money with me,
Right. Yeah.
Or I try to put my friends on,
Right.
So they have that level of respect, they have that level of understanding. So if they see me on social media flexing, like they know in real life, oh nah, that's really her, because in real life she tried to put me on.
Right.
In real life she sent me this to try
Right.
to help me get the level of success that I want to obtain.
Right.
Where it breaks down is when you're on social media flexing and then like you look to your circle and no one is like in the same space as you.
Right.
Then it don't add up. It don't, at least to me, it don't add up.
I mean, but then again, it could add up because I know some people that are very successful that have a whole bunch of friends that are bums. So it is
but
possible.
like how successful can you really be with a circle full of bums?
I mean, as successful as you make yourself out to be.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, I've never, you know, when people say like,
Right.
you gotta surround yourself
With
with
successful people to be
winners to be a winner. I never believed that.
I feel
never
like the
believed that.
winners come by default. Like once you start winning, like you just start seeing
once you
winners
start
around
winning.
you.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
like if you're the first person to win, chances are not everybody around you is going to be winning at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
So your friends,
They
they're
could-
not all winning?
I mean, my friends are all winning.
Right.
However, I can't compare myself to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, kind of going back to that success point again, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not posting my accomplishments about my job on my social media. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm doing well within my job. But like I said, there are other people out there that do post those things. So they're posting their promotion letters. They're posting their offer letters and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to understand, because you're talking about the action itself, right?
Yeah.
So I want to understand, at what point do we draw the line between, okay, these two guys can get promoted on the same day. One guy decides to post it, one guy doesn't decide to post it. Who's wrong, who's right? That's my point.
I'm gonna be honest. I never pay attention to shit like that.
Ever.
I don't.
What the hell do you pay attention to on social media?
No. I'm saying as far as like thinking because somebody's not posting what they do or how they win that they're not winning. Like I think we forget.
A lot of people think like this though. That's what
I know.
Okay.
Trust me, I know.
Okay.
Those people are idiots, fools.
Wow, he said into the camera.
Saying because I hate all of them. I don't like none of them.
Okay.
But I think we forget how many people don't even have social media. Our age and younger than us. Never had no Twitter, Instagram, none of that.
I low-key think that's odd, bro.
Yeah, I don't
like
know.
low-key, if you
But
are
at the
odd,
same
if you
time-
are
It might be
age-
odd, but it's true.
There are people who I know that have it and don't use it.
I mean, that's
And are doing
understandable.
doing
But
well in life.
those
and
people,
don't post nothing.
no, it's not that they're not doing like well in life. They're just like, I don't like to use this word, but I don't know another word. They're just like average Joes. Like they don't travel too much.
My name is Joe. What you trying to say? Say no, and I continue.
I'm just saying, like they don't do a lot. Like they don't travel.
post,
They
right.
don't like. It's like my younger brother. My younger brother graduated, has a good job, and is chilling. But he's not a big
Social media
So
guy.
he's not a big social guy. Period.
Yeah, okay.
So he's not the one that's gonna post everything because that's just not him in real
And
life.
he's still doing well, correct?
Yeah,
right.
But he's also not like I'm going to the club to pop bottles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like I'm traveling the world type. Like that's not him.
Okay.
So that's also not him.
Yeah.
I don't know very many people who are really out here like living like what some would say to be like a successful,
life.
A lit
lavish,
life.
a lit life
Right.
that don't post it.
Right. Like I think that's the norm as well.
I mean, no. It is the norm to have social media,
Right.
but there is a group of people,
That don't.
a
But
sizable group of people who don't have, though they might have it.
Amish.
No.
might be
Okay.
Amish.
No,
He
not
might
even
be
that, though.
Amish.
See, his point is that okay, there's people that are not on social media but are out here doing it. But
doing
there's
really
also
well.
people that are not on social media
Wait.
that are not doing shit either.
Did y'all see that tweet? Or was like, did anybody let the Amish know about the coronavirus?
Nah,
Yo.
I didn't see that shit.
Low key.
I didn't see that shit. But they probably
they
should.
might be a little bit behind though. Okay, but just kind of segue off that, right? Though, so like we're talking about how people are, I guess, received and perceived on social media and kind of what they put out there. And I kind of wanted to take a transition because it ain't a JI Day podcast where we don't go men versus women on it. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of wanted to understand from you guys in terms of relationships and social media, right? Do you believe that posting your significant other on social media increases the validity of your relationship?
If
Yes or no?
I don't post you, you're not my nigga.
Let's talk about it.
That's just
Why is
that.
that? Why is that? Why is that? Let's talk about it.
Because I have options. So I'm not gonna post one, and I'm definitely not gonna post all y'all. So if I don't post, like once I post my dude on my social media, that's my dude.
But
I have to post him as my dude because let's say me and you go to eat and I just post you casually, like that's not my dude.
Replies booming.
Like that's not my nigga.
Okay, but before we get to your point, why do you feel the need to show social media, yo, this is my dude and I've labeled him as
And before
such?
you answer that, you don't think that that is something you need to do?
I don't think that's something that needs to be done, but I feel like the way women are nowadays, they're gonna want that just off the strength.
Because
that's
they want to be shown off.
I
I just
feel
wanted
like
you to
that.
put your point on camera. So,
Look, he might have just got you in trouble. Anyway, he might have just got you caught up. The only reason I feel that way is because of what another segue to social media is shooting your shot.
Okay.
So for me, by me choosing to not post my dude, that's like saying that like my DMs are open for business.
right.
So you
And by me posting my nigga, that's a stand, like right there, like no.
strike me out of the list.
I'm out.
I'm
This
not-
him right here. You seen him. I posted him. This is it.
But there are plenty of people that flaunt their significant others significantly, and their DMs are still open. So if
Yeah,
anything,
they're just wild.
they're doing that as a way. Like I know multiple couples like this. I'm gonna say it on camera. I know multiple couples that post each other consistently.
And are
Boyfriend
wild.
cheating, girlfriend cheating. They post each other kissy, man crush Monday, woman crush Wednesday every week.
See that I think
So-
that just boils down to you as a person.
But I feel like that takes away from the validity of what you're saying because you're saying that.
Well, because I'm only speaking for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's how I am. Like I'm not posting nobody if I still am searching.
Okay.
That's
I
like
feel
me
that.
accepting a job offer when I'm still looking for another job.
I mean, people do that though.
Yeah, that's wild. That's
okay.
you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time.
Okay, so what do you think about that? So do you believe that posting your significant other like gives your relationship the true sense of legitimacy that, you know,
I think
people are
that
looking for?
I think that I love women and they frustrate me a lot, right?
Okay, let's talk about
As
it,
a
man.
man,
Let's
right?
talk about it.
But sometimes us as niggas be capping.
Okay,
Like,
let's
just don't
discuss this.
cap because
I like him.
like, I try to be all the way
Hey.
objective. You know what I'm saying? It's all the way unbiased. If I have a girl, right, a
let's-
woman who I'm in love with,
Right.
like that's my girl,
Right.
and she never wants to post me, I'm going to feel away.
No, I know. I agree with
Okay.
that. I agree with that. I'm saying like for me, like I know how women operate at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that if I have a girl, she's gonna wanna have me post her.
But it also
and say, "This
depends
is my
on you
girl."
as a guy.
Let's discuss
because if you're a guy that posts like every time your nigga has a birthday,
Right.
every time you out, you posting it, but then when it's my birthday, I don't get a post.
Okay,
kinda crazy.
I understand that. Okay,
It don't add up.
But that's different because that's a whole birthday. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like, and I think that's another thing too. That because there's certain girls that want to be posted all the time, while there's certain girls that don't care to be posted that heavily. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to.
No.
Nah, I think it's just equal.
Every woman wants to be posted at some type of level.
No.
Maybe not all the time.
No, it has for me. It's comparable.
Okay.
If you can post your homeboys, and I'm spending just as much time with you as your homeboys, and I don't get the same type of love on Instagram, that's weird to me.
Okay. And so I feel as though, I mean, there's certain people out there that don't like to be posted like that though. Do you think that that's them trying to shy away from showing their relationship to the world? Like, well, okay, so let's say, for example, right, let me give you a scenario. So let's say your significant other says, I don't want any of the social media stuff, but I'll still do all the PDA stuff with you in real life. So let's say y'all go to like a group dinner with a whole bunch of friends. Y'all sit next to each other, y'all hugged up, whatever y'all doing. Y'all taking group pictures of everybody. You let them post it, you let them tag y'all, you repost it to your story. But you're not gonna go out of your way to take a little.
So if you're doing that, then why don't you want the social media shit? If you were posting shit that people,
But that's what I'm saying. You're reposting it. Like,
Because
you're
niggas
saying you're not
are
going.
trash, and they
Is that what it comes down to? But so you think it's like some underlying like hidden information there.
if you make it
Yes.
a point to say, "Yo, don't
post me,"
that is crazy. No, whether it's man or woman, that's crazy.
But-
if my girl told me don't post her,
No, okay, no,
I'm
it's-
deleting your number. It's done. We out of here.
But it's not a matter of don't post me. It's a matter of like why post me. You know what I'm saying? Like what if that's the question? Why? Like why do you feel the need?
Because
I know
you're
okay.
my girlfriend,
So-
and I want to show you off to the world.
But that's what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
No. But I know people, right? So like one of my frat brothers,
But are
right?
these people that you know, are they like honest men?
Loyal, yo, facts. Like loyal, legitimate, real dudes who have said like, yo, I don't care to post my girl on social media. I love my girl. I'm a poster maybe once in a while, but
That's
I don't
fine.
feel the need to post her all the time.
Yeah, that's cool.
I feel like that's
cool with
fair.
that. Yeah, that's
As
fair.
long as you post her.
Yo,
But that's
I'm
what-
just saying, as long as you're not making it a point to say I'm not going to post you. Because if you say that, then I don't care
There's
what.
something being- so there's something
Yeah,
being
that's
hidden
weird.
here.
That's weird.
I
Something's
disagree.
up.
I disagree.
That's
If your girl told you if you let's just say
If she said, I will not post
Yes.
you, that's different.
Yes.
Because at that point, I'm being hidden.
that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, okay, so at that point, I'm being hidden.
Yeah, we in the same boat.
Okay.
I'm not a huge social. Even with if you go on my Instagram, the last time I posted myself was probably I don't post like that.
Okay, so as you being somebody who does not post yourself like
Yeah.
that, right? And you with a girl,
Yeah.
you gonna have her press you out to post her when you barely post yourself?
No,
You see what I'm-
nobody's pressing me out. That's number one.
So what are you saying then?
I'm just saying.
Let's start with it.
I'm just saying if I were to tell her I'm never going to post you,
Okay.
like I'm just saying, just impact. Like let's just say we out at the club or something, or if we go on vacation,
Right.
and I make it a point never to post her, like ever, like I'm making it a point to.
Right.
Now, if I just happen not to, that's one thing.
I'm talking about like just not posting her often. Because like there's some people that like to be, because like Kirsten, would you say that you're somebody who likes to be like posted heavily and like flaunted as much as possible? Like the dude is just saying, this my girl, this my girl, this my girl.
Look at me.
I'm asking a legitimate question for the people.
You better post me.
So as much as possible.
Yes. Cause we're together now. Granted, if we're just laid up in a bed, I got my bonnet. Don't post that. But like, if we're traveling and stuff, and you doing this, and you over my head with it, like, that's not. We're not doing that. Like, we're not doing that.
So on your side, you're more so don't hide me. It don't matter if it's frequent, but just don't hide me. And you're on the side of like, post me if you have the opportunity to do so.
Post me as much as you would post anything else.
Got you.
If you can post your, because that's the thing, and I'm speaking from a real situation.
We can tell.
If you're posting your homeboys, you can post me.
Okay.
Or then just go fuck your homeboys.
Wow.
And that's where I'm at with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a conversation for another day.
That's where I'm at with
it. That is crazy. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a conversation for another day. We are here at the end of season 3, episode 4 of the J.I.D. podcast. It's your boy J.I.D. in the building once again. Make sure to follow your boy on social media at Joe the Great. That's JOETHEGR8, as well as my podcast page at j.ade.pod. We got KR Dot to my right. We got Obi Bryant to my left. He just put on his hat. He took off the hat for the episode because it's no cap. You feel me? You know the vibe, man. It's love, appreciate it. Thank you everybody out there, man. We out.
You are now listening to the J.I.D. podcast.